Hello folks, and welcome to the first ever Diary of a Silver Leaguer YouTube edition. I recently picked up a copy of Fraps from a friend, and so now I'll be trying to do this with the replays and then trying to use the blog for more of like an analytical thing. And I'll probably do some more replays on the blog because this is vastly more time consuming than the other way I was doing it, but it is kind of cool. So we'll just see how it goes. Anyways, let's start on. So here we can see what is the worst split in the history of mankind. As you see, I grabbed exactly one probe. Not great. So let's speed it up a bit. La la la. Alright, so this pylon's a little bit late. I didn't appropriately calculate how long it would take my probe to get down to the ramp. And I know I don't need a wall off necessarily against Protoss, but I actually took my advice from the last diary, and I sat down and I went through all of the maps, and I planned out exactly how to wall off the ramps and all the 1v1 maps. So I just wanted to like try and get in the habit of it, make it second nature, because even then, with the ramps being a different angle, it kind of skews the perspective, and I don't exactly know which way to put them. So it takes me a minute or two to get it. Here's my scouting probe. I thought about it later. I should have sent him to my close position because I definitely want to know if somebody's at my close position before I knew any of the other ones. And here we can see me trying to ponder where exactly to place my gateway. So it definitely took a bunch of time. I actually did the math. It took me, let's see, 10 seconds of time. And I actually did a lot of very nerdy math to see exactly how late I was on this build, and it's pretty embarrassing. So there goes that. Everything's going okay so far. I built this Zealot pretty late, and as well as the Cybernetics Core could have gone up much sooner. But the Zealot being late is especially annoying because here it goes. If I had I built it at the right time, I could have prevented this little happy probe from wandering into my base here. As you can see, I just missed it, and the probe isn't a huge deal, but it would have been nice to block it and, you know, keep him from getting even that scouting. I don't know why exactly. I'm not chasing him there. I mean, I'm not really expecting a rush. I know what he's got in his base. So I go ahead. This is really the reason why I wish I would have, you know, like, built the wall, because he gas steals, and it's not a huge deal. It's just an annoying deal. So I kill it. Here goes this. My Cybernetics Core, as you can see, spends a shit ton of time not actually being chrono boosted, which is, I don't know the exact math, but I'm sure it costs me a lot of time. But as you'll see later, it actually doesn't matter a whole lot because I fail in other ways. This little team here of dudes should have left much sooner because let's see. Research is complete, and then I waste 10 seconds not converting them. But even then, let's see. This goes down pretty much right as the warp gates are finished. So I have to spend the next 25 seconds waiting for the ability to warp in anything, which is by far the longest time. I actually, again, did all the math, and it was about 55 seconds, not counting the time I lost by failing to chrono boost the Cybernetics Core. So I could have had these units at under the 6-minute mark, and as you can see right now, he has pretty much nothing. I could have had a Zealot Stalker and then a round of warp-ins. I would have won the game. Like, I would have crushed him mercilessly. And this is at 627. This is what he has. So I mean, I can't even imagine how few units he had earlier. So here we'll see the beginning of another mistake. Not running that probe away like a girl. Because that's what happens. And definitely would have given me some breathing room. Also, I feel like I probably should have built the pylon over here. Maybe it's not a huge deal had I, you know, left the probe up and defended a little bit more properly coming up, but maybe it would have been safer there. It would definitely have been harder for him to get more units on it. Because my build was, again, at least a minute late, I had a bunch of extra cash, so I went and built the Nexus. Probably should have killed this sooner, but I did not. So he pushes here. As you can see, I lost like that entire force, which was not great. Actually, if I go back slightly, we can probably see me make a micro mistake. So as you can see, I pulled the dudes back, and then I was like, fuck it, I'll go fight him. And I lost the sentry. If nothing else, even if I wanted to go foolishly fight this force, which is, again, a ridiculous idea, I should have at least pulled the sentry back, because those fuckers are gas expensive. So at that point when I was down to the 2 stalkers, I definitely should have started kiting more. I could have saved that guy's life. And I feel really bad for him in Protoss heaven. So there goes that. At this point, I probably should have sent a probe to make a pylon down there again, and built another warp gate. Well, I probably wouldn't have the funds for that after the next round of warp-ins. So maybe not. Definitely should have sent the pylon though. Or probe. But I thought I could hold it off. I warp in, as you can see, I was left with the 1 sentry, or stalker. I warp in zealots and stalkers only. I definitely should have gotten a sentry, because as you can see, that thing is super crippled. That stalker right there should have been saved for a sentry, because when he comes back down with 2 more stalkers, I could have walled off right there and like chrono boosted the pylon to get its shields back up faster. So I mean, that definitely would have negated the need for the probe at all. I warped in a couple zealots here to deal with that. I am super supply blocked at the moment, but I think I get that up in time. Oh, let's go back. I guess I could tell you with words, but I guess showing is easier. So here's my nexus, and it's done. Probes are still over here. I definitely have enough probes to move over. That's slightly over 16. So I haven't like really super saturated the main, but I definitely could have sent some dudes over. Instead, I think I totally just tunnel visioned and forgot about the disregarded the nexus being built, and then I send too many probes. I mean, let's see, that is, but I mean, I definitely don't leave enough mining here because that's undersaturated. Actually, did I split that exactly in half? That's amazing. That's what I meant to do in that event. But anyways, the first thing I should have done too is I should have put gas up, like 2 gas almost instantly, or at least the 1 gas, because that really becomes the limiting factor, and I definitely fall behind in macro because I'm waiting for gas so much. So I pull the units back here because I just want to keep tabs on him. I want to make sure he's not moving out. So let's see. At this point, you can see the cybernet, or I'm sorry, the robotics facility going down. And at this point in the game, I've decided to use some advice I got from, I don't remember who, but I was in a similar situation where I was walled off by Protoss before, and somebody told me that I should warp in Dark Templar in the back of their base, either by using a pylon on the low ground and using Observer to spot so I can warp on the high ground, or a warp prism. So I go for the warp prism method. So there goes that. That finally goes away. So now I'm spawning units back here and running them up the long way. That assimilator's done. I don't move units on it forever. Like I even build another assimilator over here and then fail to move dudes onto it. So here's the robo facility. It's already warping in a warp prism, and it's just now getting to the Twilight Council, even though I had resources for it earlier, which again is a definite macro hiccup. And the lack of gas is slowing me down because I'm trying to like summon units and build all these structures. And now that's done. I have the cash for Dark Shrine. Do not do it. I should definitely be spending some cash on an observer, because I'm pretty sure I could have gotten a more optimal location for my dudes to warp in at. And actually, I should have probably put the nameplates up and whatnot. I have a huge advantage, but again, the bottleneck, I'm definitely not going to win, even though I have a lot more food than he does. I think it's mostly probes anyways. So Dark Shrine finally going up. Yeah, definitely should have built some observers. The lack of observers, too, is something that's going to bother me later on. This guy is pretty bad. He's supply capped at 50. He's sitting on 1 base. I don't know why he has the robo facility. I have no idea what his plans are at all. For like winning this game. I guess I'm supposed to like just crash my units up there until they die. So let's back up a little bit. Oh, there we go. So Dark Shrine finishes right around 1430. Here's my Warp Prism. La la la. I tried going there, and I couldn't see if this area right here is considered powered or not. I guess not. I guess I'd have to go with. So I think I made the right move to move him over. So that's probably a little bit too far. The first way was probably okay, but I warped them in, and then I sent them to do their deed. At this point, I should have moved the warp prism back out. I think I was like, oh, maybe I'll just summon in more dudes, which is kind of ridiculous because if the 4 Dark Templar don't work for whatever reason, like he has detectors or whatever, summoning in more is probably not going to work either. So now that I think about it, so I lose the warp prism for silly reasons. And right now I'm getting kind of nervous that he hasn't quit yet because he's done. Like, here comes this battle over here. I just went it through like sheer brute force. I think my dudes are like 1-1 or something. Nope, just 1 damage. But so at this point, I was afraid that he might have another base somewhere, and this is again where those observers hurt me by not having them because I should have been scouting. I definitely should have like sent up probes places to like build pylons here and elsewhere, just so I could keep an eye, if he decides to expand somewhere. But I don't do that. I instead, and my macro goes completely to shit. But in my fairness, fairness to me, like I thought I had won, which I guess is no excuse because you can very quickly not win, especially when you have a complete lack of scouting and knowledge like I do. But I thought I had won this pretty handily, and I didn't need to build more unit structures or anything like that to do it. I could just do it on my warp gate cooldown. So right there, I push into his base with my dudes to distract the photon cannons, while my Dark Templar destroy the pylon. I really don't see why he doesn't GG, but I guess he's kind of pissed off at the Dark Templar shenanigans or something. So at first I basically run around the map like, okay, everyone go everywhere and look for things. And so like I send the probe to like make pylons in places to keep an eye on them, like I should have done so long ago. Until I later realize, oh, I missed this pylon here, which is not great. And this zealot survived forever, just hanging out at the Zalnaga Tower. I'm kind of like irritated at this guy for staying in, but whatever. So that was that win, and I mean, I guess what I learned in this match was that my build timing definitely needs to get much tighter, and my macro is terrible, like just awful. This was the first time I think I've ever built a Dark Templar in a game, so I'll give myself some credit for like having to invent this on the fly. But honestly, I could have built pretty much everything that I needed to make the Dark Templar with faster, and I didn't. What else did I learn? I learned I need to scout better. Just for like peace of mind issues, I definitely should have built observers early on because I could have parked one in the middle of his base and seen exactly what he was doing the whole time. And granted, had that happened, I probably wouldn't have changed anything because it's not like I saw something or he tried to do anything that would have changed my tactic. Like I pretty much had him beat. But regardless, it's a good habit to get into. But so I'm just gonna, those are the 2 things I need to work on: macro/build order and scouting. But that's going to do it for this first installment of Hat's YouTube Diary of a Silver Leaguer. And you guys can check out all the old diaries and the blog at chaoshat.com. Thanks for watching. Bye.